Okay, everyone, Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, has now officially responded to the Emiru situation that happened at TwitchCon. Now, if you watch the videos, we had covered that he actually went on and did an interview with Taylor Lorenz, where Taylor Lorenz basically brought up, like, what is Twitch doing and what is he, the CEO, doing to, like, ensure the protection of these female creators. It's mainly these female creators that are having to deal with this, you know, harassment from just weird parasocial men is normally the demographic here. And he really tiptoed around it, and if anything, he pissed me the fuck off because he was like, well, when people put themselves out there, which was literally blaming creators, by the way, instead of the, like, crazy obsessed fans. He was literally like, well, when you put yourself out there, you know, like, these people are coming to TwitchCon, which is giving you money, and they're doing that basically, and there's more of a pro for you than there is for them because they're being put in dangerous situations. So he got a ton of backlash from Taylor Lorenz's interview, by the way, and I'm gonna give Taylor her tens because she really pushed back on him a lot and asked him a lot of really great questions. And it was just really interesting how he danced around the topic of he was at TwitchCon the day after it happened and he wasn't taking it as seriously as he should. And as you know, we've covered it before, but Emiru was doing a meet and greet at TwitchCon, one of these huge TikTok streamers. And thank God someone got this on video because women already deal with people not believing them when they don't have any, you know, video proof or proof in general. But anyways, what happened was she was doing a meet and greet and this really creepy guy just walked past security and walked into so many different lines and walked directly up to Emiru while she was doing a meet and greet and just grabs her and tries to kiss her and, like, goes so up. And the one security guard that runs up was actually Emiru's security that she had hired, which means that the Twitch security did nothing in that moment and didn't even run up to help her, nor did they even protect something like this happening before. And so, oh, sorry, I forgot that there was another topic that we need to, yeah, we'll do that as well. I'm sorry, I forgot that I said I was going to do that one. But anyways, so this happened. Twitch didn't handle it properly in the moment. Emiru's security was the one who actually got her out of that moment. And even at that, it was a little bit delayed because Emiru's own security that she has was banned from TwitchCon a couple years ago because a stalker approached her and he grabbed the stalker until he was escorted out by police, which is so fucking crazy that this could have been avoidable, but Twitch literally went out of their way to ensure that she wasn't protected, which is fucking disgusting. And then Emiru opened up in her statement. So again, Dan Clancy has now made a full statement about it, which we got to get to, but I think it's important to reiterate what Emiru said right after because Dan Clancy's statement has to basically address these points that she said that Twitch did nothing after either, which is so important. So in the moment again, remember, she said, "Hello everyone, I am okay and thank you for all the kind messages. Sorry I cannot respond to all of them. Yesterday, the man who assaulted me was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon and even in front of other creator meet and greets to grab me and my face and try to kiss me. Fortunately, he was not able to, but a lot of people have pointed out that it could have been a lot worse. I'm obviously shaken up by what happened, and it's not the first time I've dealt with something like this, but to tell you honestly, I'm more hurt and a lot more hurt by how Twitch have handled this during and after the fact. Like I said, I don't understand how he was allowed to make it to me in the first place. The security in the clip who reacts is my own security. It's true. My favorite unusual security guard was banned for holding a stalker's arm to bring him to the police at a past TwitchCon. However, there were at least 3 or 4 other TwitchCon security staff in the area who didn't react and just let the guy walk free. And we see in other people's, like, IRL streams, this guy just walk freely. So they're not protecting the creators even after the fact. As you can see in the clip, they don't even appear in the frame. The woman walking me away is my own personal manager, and behind the booth, the only 2 people who were checking in on me were her, the manager, and my friend. None of the TwitchCon staff came to ask what happened or even if I was okay. My friend who was present told me that Twitch security were also behind the booth after, joking about how they didn't even see what happened and immediately laughing and moving on to talking about something else. So if no one was checking if I was okay or if I needed anything and they let the guy roam free, I have no idea what they even hired people to do to keep the event safe. In Twitch's statement, they said that the guy was immediately caught and detained, but I'm sorry, that's a blatant lie. He was allowed to walk away from my meet and greet, and I didn't hear that he was caught until hours after he attacked me. And it felt like this only happened because my manager was pressing for it, not because TwitchCon staff was present, and thinking it was a big deal. I have a lot more I want to say. I'll say it on stream later instead of writing a book here. Thank you guys again. It saddens me to say that as, 10-year on and off attendee of TwitchCon, I think other people should consider not attending. So Dan Clancy, the CEO, has now made an official statement because originally they made a statement where they were like, the safety is our biggest concern. Obviously, Emiru proved that wrong. I also made a video where I went through, she did a stream and she addressed everything the next day at TwitchCon, and it was really, really, really great to hear from her own mouth, her, experience with it, and basically the lackluster deal that Twitch made it. So this is bullshit. I referenced it in all of my videos, but we are not at the stage in the world anymore where these events can happen and be so unregulated or security can be so lax. We are seeing a rise in, violence, specifically on live streams, in the last couple months specifically, but definitely after what happened to Charlie Kirk, which is a big reason that political streamers like Hassan and other people chose not to go to TwitchCon this year. And a lot of female creators and other people as well decided not to go to TwitchCon this year just out of safety concerns. And what's so crazy is everyone was validated. Everyone was validated. The fears that they all thought happened. Twitch did not protect the fucking creators. So, let's get to Dan Clancy's statement, okay? He says, first, and by the way, this to me means a lot less considering that he went on that interview with Taylor Lorenz and basically kind of blamed creators for putting themselves in that position. And also, sorry, I was going to reference as well, how we all collectively didn't learn after Christina Grimmie in 2016 blows my mind. First, I want to be upfront and take accountability for the security incidents that occurred during Emiru's meet and greet. It shouldn't have happened, and we take that very seriously. We failed, both in allowing it to occur and in our response following. We mismanaged our communications about the incident, and that includes the comments that I made. I apologize to Emiru for all that took place, so obviously on the podcast. What are we going to do moving forward? Because keep in mind, they are now dealing with creators mass unsubscribing from the concept of going to a convention ran by them again. And the creators are absolutely validated. How can we know? You had security at this event. They just didn't do their job. Fans aren't going to go because what can happen to them? Fans are equally as important as the creators and their safety. For meet and greets, we've begun a complete analysis of the incident that took place, as well as other issues that came to our attention after TwitchCon concluded. We're examining everything from how we do signups to the layout to increase security controls. We're also doing a complete review of overall event safety and security, and we'll be making updates for future TwitchCons. While we won't be sharing all security updates for privacy and safety concerns, we will keep our community informed about changes that directly impact attendees. I do think they should be speaking about what they're doing with security because they should be saying it as a warning to people. We have heard concerns about IRL streaming at TwitchCon. Twitch has evolved over the years and IRL streaming is a part of Twitch, but we need to ensure that TwitchCon meets the needs of a variety of participants. We will be reviewing how we handle IRL streaming at TwitchCon and we'll have more to share soon. That's something very interesting to me because I do believe that IRL streaming, we see streams sniping and a lot of people do things for the reaction of it happening IRL and the streamer not being aware. I do find that very interesting that they are going to be making a decision on IRL streaming at TwitchCon because most of the people attending IRL stream. Finally, we got clear feedback on accessibility across the event. We're reviewing with our teams, including our production and venue staff, so that we're better equipped for future events. You put a lot of trust in us by attending TwitchCon, and we take our responsibility to keep you safe seriously. We know that TwitchCon means a lot to people, and it means a lot to us. Be on the lookout for more updates, and thanks for being a part of it, Dan Clancy, who is the CEO. So here's what I'm going to say. The mess has been done, and it cannot be undone. Emiru could have been killed in that moment, and we will be having a completely different conversation right now. Creators will no longer trust TwitchCons, VidCons, and they are absolutely warranted for it. If these organizations are not willing to put the money down, which they won't, because ultimately, the thing is with conventions is they are supposed to be cheaply done and they're supposed to be expensive. So those two things can't be true at the same time when it comes to the level of security needed for events like this. Unless they're willing to overhaul everything, I think TwitchCon will be no longer in a couple years. And that may even extend to VidCons as well. And people are absolutely warranted considering people chose not to go to these events this year because of safety concerns. They literally were validated. It feels like IRLs were how they were caught doing a shit job and they only now feel about regulating it. I don't know, it feels off. There's a great point as well. This was caught on camera probably by an IRL streamer. Emiru says, thank God this was caught on camera because if it wasn't, people wouldn't be taking me seriously. Is there a level of Twitch trying to hide if something happens at their conventions? We do not know. It's all open to speculation. All I will say is if you have to completely change your event to not being what it's supposed to be just because of safety concerns, maybe the event shouldn't be happening. I don't think conventions are safe anymore. I don't think so either. In the world of media and streaming and videos and topics, I don't think they're safe anymore. So, this statement to me is performative. It's lackluster. It's way too late. He already went on Taylor Lorenz and basically blamed creators for putting themselves in their position. Twitch already made a statement that was bullshit and disproved by Emiru. And they are now probably going to face the repercussions of not acting on the safety of their creators and allowing day 2 to go on, by the way. Well, this happened on day 1. Day 2 went on. And Emiru, was taking part in day 2 as well. I think these Twitch cons and VidCons and these kind of things are not safe to do anymore. Truly. Truly. So we will leave it there for now. But to me, too little, too late.